All right, let's get right into it because this title, it probably goes against every single piece of financial advice you've ever heard. We're all taught to save our money, right? Put it away, watch it grow. But what if I told you that's not how the wealthiest people on the planet actually build their fortunes? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on why they focus on something completely different. So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is tucking away every spare dollar you have really the fastest way to get rich? I mean, it feels safe, it feels responsible, but is it effective? As you're about to see, the answer is, well, it's a lot more complicated than we've been led to believe. You see, it really all boils down to two completely different ways of thinking about money. There's the saver's mindset, which is all about piling up cash, building that nest egg. But then there's the wealthy mindset, and this is a game changer. The focus here isn't on saving money, it's on acquiring assets, things that actually make you more money. That right there is the fundamental difference we're unpacking.
Okay, so let's first walk down the path most of us are taught to take, the saver's path, but we're going to call it the saver's dilemma. Because ironically, the very advice that's supposed to help you get ahead might just be the thing that's holding you back.
Come on, we've all heard this a million times, right? It's practically financial gospel passed down from generation to generation. A penny saved is a penny earned. It sounds so simple, so logical, but what if that penny you worked so hard to save isn't even worth a penny tomorrow? This little piece of common wisdom is exactly what we need to question. So, why isn't that penny worth a penny anymore? Well, because that cash you've got saved up isn't just sitting there in a nice, safe vault. Nope, it's actually in a fight for its life against some invisible enemies that are silently, constantly shrinking its value. And enemy number one, the big boss, is inflation. Now, that sounds like a complicated economic term, but all it really means is that your money is losing its buying power over time. The $100 in your wallet today will buy you less coffee, less gas, less everything next year. It's a silent thief, and it's always at work. And this is where it gets real. Look at this number. A 3.5% inflation rate might not sound like much, but it means your hard-earned savings are effectively losing almost 4% of their value every single year. So even though the number in your bank account is the same, what you can actually do with that money is shrinking. But wait, inflation isn't working alone. It has a sneaky partner in crime called opportunity cost. See, every single dollar that's just sitting in a savings account doing nothing is a dollar that could have been out there working for you. It's a missed chance for your money to actually grow, to compound, to build real wealth. Okay, so if hoarding cash is basically a losing game thanks to these hidden enemies, what's the winning move? This is where everything shifts. The whole strategy flips from saving money to owning things that make money. We're talking about assets, the real engine of wealth. So what are assets, really? Well, simply put, they're things that put money in your pocket. We're not talking about a pile of cash, we're talking about owning a piece of a business, holding stocks in a great company, or owning real estate that generates rent every month. Cash is passive. Assets are active. They work for you 24/7. This slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? Savings are passive. They just sit there, slowly getting eaten away by inflation. Assets, on the other hand, are active. They can go up in value. They can spit out income. It's really the difference between a stagnant pond and a powerful, flowing river. Now, you might be wondering, okay, great, but how on earth do people afford to buy all these assets? Well, this is where we introduce the secret weapon, the accelerator, if you will. It's a powerful and, I have to say, very risky tool called leverage. Leverage sounds intimidating, I know, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's about using borrowed money, yep, we're talking about debt, to buy an asset. The whole bet is that the money you make from that asset will be more than the cost of the loan you took out to buy it. So here's how it works in 3 simple steps. 1, you borrow the money. 2, you use that money to buy something that makes you money, like a rental property. 3, you profit from the difference. Let's say your mortgage on that property is $1,000 a month, but you're collecting $1,500 in rent. Boom, you're using debt to create a $500 a month cash flow. All right, let's bring all these pieces together and put these two mindsets side by side. It's the saver's playbook versus the investor's playbook. Two totally different worlds. And this table just says it all. The middle-class strategy is all about safety, saving, and building up that nest egg. And what's the view on debt? It's the enemy. Avoid it. But the wealth strategy? It's about ownership and taking calculated risks. The goal isn't a pile of cash. It's a portfolio of cash-flowing assets. And debt?
Debt isn't the enemy here. It's a tool.
And listen, this isn't just some theory from a textbook. Look at the master himself, Warren Buffett. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, is famous for keeping as little idle cash as possible. Why? Because Buffett knows that cash just sitting there is lazy money. His entire strategy is to get that capital working by deploying it into productive assets, businesses that will compound his wealth over time.
Okay, now before you get any big ideas, we need to stop and have a very serious talk. Because this strategy, as powerful as it is incredibly dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. This is the final and maybe the most important warning.
Let me be crystal clear about this. Leverage is a double-edged sword. It's rocket fuel, for sure. But what happens when a rocket goes bad? It blows up. This tool will magnify your wins, absolutely, but it will magnify your losses just as fast, and it can wipe you out in the blink of an eye.
And these are the non-negotiables. You cannot play this game unless you have strong, steady cash flow to handle the debt payments no matter what. You absolutely must have a deep financial education and the discipline of a monk. Because if it's mismanaged, the very same debt you used as a tool to build wealth will turn around and completely destroy it.
So that brings us to the final question, and this one's for you to think about. After everything we've talked about, take a look at your own strategy. Are you focused on building a pile of savings that's slowly leaking value every day? Or are you building a portfolio of assets designed to work for you? The path you choose makes all the difference.